and good time zone. And what is up, gamers? Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Hope you're all having a beautiful day. It's very nice to be here. It's nicer than not being here. I don't know. Anyways, hello. I'm very happy to be present and streaming. I'm not feeling 100% today, but you know what? I'm gonna try my gosh darn best anyways, because you know whatever that is the most anyone can give, and that is good enough. And there's your thought for the day. Hi, everybody. Welcome on in. Oh, so sorry that's upside down. That must have been very confusing for you. But that's going away anyways, because we don't need it yet, because that's to clean my brushes, which is normally what I do after the stream is done. It's also what my palette rests on. But hi. Hope you're all having good Mondays. How was your weekend, everyone? I hope it was delightful. As mentioned, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so that's how I'm doing, but, you know, it could be worse. It's not terrible. I'm feeling a little bit frazzled because if you're in the Discord and you know my schedule for this week, you know I'm not streaming on Friday this week because something has come up at quite short notice. And even when it's something good, and this is nominally something good, I don't do great when things come up at short notice. I like being able to prepare myself for things, and I am not prepared for this. Namely, there's a whole bunch of painting that I now have to do off stream that I can't do on stream, so I have to find time when I'm not streaming to do more painting that I can't do on stream, just on the off chance that certain parties may be watching because I'm making some gifts. So that's where I'm at. Yay. And is that how you network? You just give people watercolor paintings? Is that how networking works? I genuinely don't know how to make friends as an adult. I think for pretty much my entire life, my most frequently used, I would say most effective, but to be perfectly honest, I don't actually know if it's that effective, but the only pathway to friendship and acquaintanceship that I know, really, is here. Have this thing I thought you would like that I made. Have I bought your esteem yet? I don't know. I just don't know. So if there's a better way to do it, and if you just say, just be yourself, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It does not work. Because be myself is to stand quietly in the corner and not know when to enter a conversation. Which is not the way to make friends, it turns out. Anyways, Kobe, hi, thank you for that absolutely terrifying Mr. Blobby animation. I am suitably afraid. Hello, Dark. Welcome in. Hello, Aoife, as well. How are you doing? Lovely to see you. Spyro the Bandicoot. Hello and welcome. How are you doing? Welcome on in. Hope you're having a great Monday. Dark says, I feel very deprived of Hollow Knight this week. I am so sorry. But, you know, at least you know that this is not the week that I defeat Sly whilst you're having lunch. So at least there's that. Anyways. Sammy is buying Steam, says Samantha. Sammy has no money. Sammy's not buying anything. They might consider treating themselves to a tube of paint or a pastry if they're feeling real silly. That's blue. All of my colors are a little off kilter this week because of the palette that I'm working with. And so I have to remind myself that's orange, that's yellow, that's green, blue, purple, turquoise, teal situation. Which one's turquoise and which one's teal? They're kind of, in places they can kind of interchange, but I feel like if it's very dark, it's teal. Or is teal greener than turquoise? I don't know. Because in some manufactories, they call this cobalt teal, and other ones call it cobalt turquoise, which makes me think that the words interchange, but I don't think that's true. Anyways. Tasty tube of paint or croissant. To be fair, one of these is edible, and it's not paint, Kofi. Please. Anyways, Dark says, I looked up the speculative value of my Steam library yesterday. That was a mistake. Oh, Dark. Oh, I'm so sorry. Samantha says, don't confuse one for the other. It will either end up very messy or quite bad tasting and incredibly messy. Oh, no. If I buy Steam, I rename it to Y, says Eva. Oh, no. That's too confusing. Things should not be named letters of the alphabet. That is much too confusing. It needs to be stopped. Teal is tealer than turquoise, says Samantha. Okay, wizard. Thank you so much for the clarification. I really appreciate it. The problem with this long painting is that it doesn't quite fit under the camera at this angle. Should I adjust the camera upwards slightly so we can actually see the whole thing, maybe? I don't want to adjust it upwards so far that, like, the painting is really far away and it's too small. Also, you can see some of my partner's Warhammer paints just off to the side there now, but that's okay. I can move the actual paint pots a little bit further up. You can still more or less see what they are, and the colors of the paints themselves are pretty much what they look like in the little potos. So there you have it. I think the paints are just gonna live there today, and this is my swatch sheet. I buy Netflix and rename it Zed. Oh, but that's the thing. Netflix is American. Are you gonna do it correctly and have it be called Zed, or are you going to acquiesce to the needs of Americans and their weird alphabet and call it Z? Yeah, Eva says pronounced Zed correctly or Z incorrectly. Same brain. Yes. I always found that really weird when I was a child. Obviously I grew up in Canada, and in Canada we say, WXYZ, right? Because we're Commonwealth. But because I lived in Canada, we did get a lot of imported, like, American television, and the American children's television, when they did alphabet stuff, they would say XYZ. And, as a youngin' going into, like, kindergarten and stuff, that was quite confusing, because it was like, wait, is it Z or is it Z, or are they, like, interchangeable? And had to kind of learn that, no, the Americans say Z, but we don't. It will be Zed, says Samantha. Thank you! Americans can either learn to say things properly, she says, or stop watching whatever crap they have on Zed these days. Heck. I am going to take a sip of my tea, which hopefully is cold enough that I can do that now. I made myself 2 hot beverages, and then I walked into the studio, and the studio was annoyingly warm. I was like, why is it so sweaty in here? It's not that hot outside. It's only like 23, 24 degrees today. It should be not that bad. The truth is, it's not that bad. But the window had been shut. So, hooray! Anyways, I hope everyone is having a beautiful day. I'm very excited to paint with these paints, but I'm also very, very nervous to paint with these paints, which is why I haven't started painting yet. But also because I'm painting some things that, they're kind of landscapey stuff that I don't really have a lot of experience doing in watercolors, like waterfalls and stuff, with watercolor being the additive medium that it is. You can't really take color away, or, I don't have white paint, so I can't just put white over top of the bits that I want to be, not colored in or not as colored in. Though that being said, I do think that, sometimes in some styles, I think it looks really nice using a bit of white to add, like, a really sharp highlight, but that's not really what I want with this piece. But there's gonna be a lot of water where it's moving really fast. So, there's not a lot of color to it. And to try and maintain that is gonna be, and not accidentally paint into those bits and end up having it look all bad, is honestly really scary, which is why I'm sort of waffling on doing this piece. But thank you so much for giving me an additional 5 minutes of not having to do the piece, because I have a terrible drawing time request from the lovely Samantha, and she would like to see. Samantha says, and I quote, "In the continued adventures of Sammy Draws the Pokedex, Relicanth." Okay, I have some thoughts, and I have some ideas that immediately spring to mind when I hear this name. So I'll be really interested to see whether or not they're remotely accurate. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that they won't be, but I'll tell you in just a second. But first, for anybody who's new here, allow me to explain what we're about to do. Terrible Drawing Time is this genuinely bizarre idea whereby for 5,000 channel points, I have 5 minutes or less to draw a character or concept of your choosing from memory or sight unseen on the Terrible Drawing canvas. This is our current canvas. We have such things as this is Smoliv, who is a small olive, and Doliv, who is Dolly Parton, if Dolly Parton was an olive. We have the little dude from the Pikmin games, which I have not played, as you can see, and some Pikmins. Again, we have Chill Chuck from Dungeon Meshi, which I have not seen, but I hear it's good. I was actually hilariously my partner and I have been watching just like cooking shows from America's Test Kitchen on YouTube, and a recommended video came up on my YouTube that was like, what happened to the presenters of Cook's Country? And I'm like, as far as I know, they're still just presenting the show. So we didn't watch that video because it seemed like clickbait. But I did, out of curiosity, I looked up the Instagram of one of the presenters, because I think my partner was trying to figure out how old she was. Turns out she's a couple years older than he is. But she has, like, very much an adult vibe about her because of what she does with her hair versus, you know, sort of me, who just looks like a gremlin and I don't think has the energy of someone who in my mind would be 40. But, there we are. Anyways, my point is that she posted to Instagram recently that she started watching Dungeon Meshi and she really likes it, and I'm like, oh, bless, that's adorable. Maybe I should start watching this show. Anyways, but yes, Kobe says, I'm interested to see what Sammy's thoughts are here. Because Relicanth is one of those Pokemon where it's very clear what the design is based on. I have a pretty solid idea in mind of what I think it sounds like, so I'll be interested to see whether or not I've interpreted, like, the word correctly. We shall find out in a moment, I think. But, yes. Kobe says, you'd love Dungeon Meshi. It's the right mix of cozy and traumatic. I look forward to at some point seeing it. The plural is Pikmin. Did I say Pikmins? As you can tell, Indigo, I have never played a Pikmin game, and I'm very sorry for my grammatical mistake. Okie dokie. I am going to attempt to draw a Relicanth. Let me pull up my timer, which is set to 5 minutes on the clock, starting. Now. Okay, 5 minutes. Relicanth. I'm going to pop Relicanth right over here. And so here's I feel like this is either going to be a huge misnomer or extremely obvious to me, because my first thought is obviously to me anyways, a coelacanth. Because it's a very old fish, right? So it's a relic, but I want to see if I can try and combine relic and coelacanth and make some kind of a fish creature, but that's kind of cool. So I have to, first of all, I have to try and conjure the memory of what a coelacanth looks like. And that is like the first hurdle, I feel like, here, is trying to remember. Hello, Holly, I'm trying to draw a Relicanth. How's it going?
Choppers.
Welcome in, Raiders. Okay, I'm gonna pause the timer real quickly so I can say hi to the people. Hello, Holly. How was your stream? What did you get up to today? It's lovely to see you. Welcome. Happy Inadequate Coder. Hello, welcome in. Andy Ifik, welcome. Holly, of course, welcome. And Nina. Hello, friends. Welcome on in. How are you doing? Lovely to see you. Holly, how was your stream? Let me get a shout out for you in the chat. Imaginary Holly. And once again, if you're not following Holly, go do that. You can go do that right there. With the shout out that did not, oh, beans, did I not run my chat bot? My chat bot's not running. I was so prepared for stream today. I was like, oh, I've got lots of time. because I just straight up forgot to run my chat bot. So we'll get a different flavor of shout out for Holly in the first instance. I'm so sorry, Holly. And once again, of course, if you would like to contribute to the art tax, you are very welcome to send me a whisper with a link to an Instagram post or, you know, sort of a link to what you've been working on to date. It's all good if you would like to. You know, no pressure, obviously, but you are welcome to do so. Holly says, hello, lovey, we were playing House Flipper, but I got mega brain fog, so I finished up a little early and came over for cozy art times. Oh my god, that is a mood. I hope that your fog lifts soon. And I hope that you had a good time flipping houses. That sounds like a very, very fun time. Andy Hiffick, thank you very much for the follow. Thank you very much for the exclamation mark tiny pencil. It is indeed very much on its last legs, but I will squeeze as much graphite out of this thing as I can for so long as I can. For anyone who's just come in on the raid, hello. Allow me to introduce myself real quick. My name is Twitch user Sammy Kelsch. I'm a variety streamer. I do cozy art streams on Mondays and Thursdays. I do cozy game streams on Fridays, but not this Friday because I have to be away from town. So I'm only streaming Monday and Thursday this week. But most of the time, I stream on Fridays as well. Here's a sketch of something I haven't painted yet. It's a ghost barista because I'm trying to get ahead of spooky season. And here's what we're going to be painting today, which I have not started painting at all. It's just a little masking fluid on these little guys down here. Anyways, this is my terrible drawing time canvas where all of my terrible drawings go. I have 5 minutes to draw a character from memory or sight unseen. In this case, I've been asked to draw the Pokemon Relicanth. Sight unseen because I've never seen Relicanth, so wish me luck. It's gonna be interesting. And as for what my work looks like when it's done, sometimes it looks something like that. This is the Kakapo that I adopted at the end of last year through the Kakapo Recovery Program. They are lovely creatures. There's not very many of them in the world right now, and I'm very, very enthusiastically supportive of helping to recover their population. Anyways, I want to make ghost fingernails, says Aoife. Oh my god, do it. That would be so stinking cute. So stinking cute. I love it. That's absolutely adorable. But yeah. Anywho, that's me. This is terrible drawing time. I'd better get back to it. So let me pop back onto the timer. Okay, starting now, I'm going to attempt to paint the Pokemon Relicanth. So basically my thinky thought was, is it some kind of coelacanth? Was my thinky thought. So I'm going to attempt to draw some kind of coelacanth, but I'm gonna, what should I do? I don't want to just draw like a straight ahead coelacanth. So I'm gonna have to find some way of making it slightly different. But I'm not sure how to do that exactly. But let me figure it out. How many little flippers does a coelacanth have? Most of the graphite is lost when sharpening the pencil, says Indigo. I know, this thing has broken so many times. It's so frustrating. Holly says, I'm going to do a raid and run so I can sort some things while I still have limited brain function happening. Please, please, please do. And once again, thank you so much for raiding, Holly. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. And let me get another shout out to you now that my chatbot is working. Speaking of brains, not braining. I think it's got like 3 flippers on the bottom, so I'm going to give it 3 flippers on the bottom. I don't know what type Pokemon this is. I don't know what, I'm gonna give it a little smile, because I can give it a little smile if I want to, because it's a happy little fishy. I'm gonna give it some little fishy gill things. How many flippers does a coelacanth have? Ask Sammy. The answer, all of them. It has all the flippers. Oh my god. Alrighty. And what sort of eye am I gonna give it? Maybe just a Maybe just a one of these. It's just a happy little guy. It's just a happy little guy. This is a, I don't know, oh, this is a wet type Pokemon. Um, how do I make it? How am I gonna, what else do I give it to make it a Relicanth? I can't think of what's a good relic. A wet type of Pokemon, you know, because it swims around in the water, right? What sort of relic can I give it? I don't know. What's an appropriate relic? Why is this so hard? It's almost like that's too vague of a category for me to think of something really useful. I don't know. I think what I'm gonna do, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give it a little. As you can see, it's wearing a little hat because it's gonna go on adventures hunting for relics, and so it needs a little hat, and I'm gonna give it a little like. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. I'm gonna give it a little messenger bag, sort of strapped across its body, in which it's going to keep its little like relic searching, adventuring tools, so it can go looking for. It's an ancient fish going and looking for ancient relics. That's what it's doing. And it's gonna have little pockets where it keeps like there's its little map scrolls. It's got some little maps sticking out here, and it's got like a little. It's got like a little. You know what? Even though it's a fish, it's gonna have a little like water bottle, because I think it's important to stay hydrated. There's its little water bottle. It's gonna have a little sort of compass hanging off of its bag as well, and there's all kinds of useful gubbins in the bag. There's its little compass, its little maps. Surely it also needs a whip. Oh my god, you're right. You're so right. Okay, it's got a little whip. Sort of all do. There we go. It's got its little whip. And it is ready for an adventure, this little Relicanth. It is off to go do the things, and you know what? I'm just gonna give it a little pair of like little spectacles, because it's a very clever little fishy. And that is time. This is Relicanth, the relic-seeking adventurer Coelacanth. Now then, I have to know, how poorly did I do? Oh my god, Relicanth out there discovering all of the Ampharos! The Amphora! Yes! But no, seriously, Relicanth is my favorite new friend. And I love him, and if you don't love him, you're dead to me and I hate you. I'm kidding. I still love you. I understand. I am an acquired taste. I am a luxury few can afford. I get it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Anyways, how was your weekend? So that was terrible drawing time. Let me just do a little bit of faffing behind the scenes to pull up a picture of the actual Relicanth and see how incredibly off base I was. Oh. Okay, well that's interesting. And I will show you why that's interesting in just a moment. So, let me cue this up real good. This is my take on Relicanth. The relic-seeking Coelacanth, with all of his little adventuring supplies, and his little adventuring spectacles, and his little adventuring hat. And this is Relicanth. That's just a weird Coelacanth, y'all. That's just a weird Coelacanth. And to prove it, let me find you a picture. Let me find you what a Coelacanth looks like. Did I spell that correctly? I did! Yay! Alrighty, here, if I can get the picture to load. There we go. Okay, so prepare yourselves for this. Okay, so, for starters, this, once again, my attempt at Relicanth, having never seen Relicanth. This is Relicanth, the Pokemon. And this is a Coelacanth. So, as you can see, they literally,
Attention.
Samantha's right, they literally just straight up did a Coelacanth and made it a Pokemon. Hello, James! Jam, hello! Hello, Raiders! Welcome on in, everybody. How are you doing? You're here just in time for looking at Pokemon hours. Welcome on in, everybody. Hello, hello. Jam, how was the rest of your raid? Jam was doing some lovely, lovely, lovely little, some floral artworks earlier. They were very, very, very nice indeed. Very lovely to see. Jam, how was the rest of your raid? It's wonderful to see you. Let me get a shout out for you in chat. And a hello to everyone who's just come in on the raid. Welcome in, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Oh my goodness gracious. Right, so, Jam, hello, welcome in. Kirsty says, fish! Hell yeah, fish! Spudgers, hello, welcome in. Casa, hello, hello. Cage the Raven, hello, welcome. How are you doing? Lovely to see you. Fish! Says Jam. Yes, we just drew a relic hunting Coelacanth. Because I was asked to draw a Relicanth from memory, and I didn't know what that looked like. Snail, hello, welcome in, how are you doing? It's lovely to see you as well. Hello, Zevi, hello, hello. Old Fishy mentioned, hell yeah. Hell yeah, it's Coelacanth time. Oh my goodness. But yeah, how's everybody doing? How is your Monday? How are your weekends? It's wonderful to see y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Kobe says, but Sammy, where do you think its eyes are? I don't dare to guess, Kobe, because that's an ominous question. Rex, hello. Zevi, hello. Jam, hello again. Hello, hello, hello. Had a good time with the flower paintings, says Jam, and gosh dang, it was beautiful, so you should feel very proud. But for anybody who missed it, Terrible Drawing Time is this thing I do here where I have to draw something from memory for 5,000 channel points, and this was my attempt at drawing Relicanth. He's off on his little adventure. He's got his little adventuring hat. He's got spectacles because they help him see. He's got some maps, and a whip, of course, and a compass, and a little water bottle because he's a fish, so he's a wet type of Pokemon. Anyways, that's what we did. This is the Barista Ghost, which isn't what I'm painting today. I just thought you might like to look at the sketch because it's cute. And hi. For anybody who's new here, welcome in, everybody. Hello, hello. It's lovely to see y'all. My name is Twitch user Sammy Kelch. I'm a variety streamer. I do cozy game streams on Fridays, but on Mondays and Thursdays I do cozy art streams, and today I am testing out a new palette of watercolors that I blended recently to do a little watercolor scene that I have not started painting yet, and as you can see, it's still kind of boring and just very vague pencil lines, so I hope that that's what you're into. But yeah, if you're not familiar with Jam, you should really go give him a follow, because Jam is fun and a cool person, and does lovely artwork and games and all kinds of cool stuff, and is just generally great. So please do go give a follow over there. If you want to see what my artwork looks like when it's done, you can do that as well. Let me find a representative artwork to make you look at. Yeah. Oh, here's one I posted yesterday. Which was the Fletch, hello, welcome in as well. How are you doing? It is wonderful to see you, my friend. Welcome, welcome. How is your Monday going? This is a little yokai. It is the it's a type of yokai called the Kasaobake, and it's basically one of a subset of yokai that are like everyday objects that become imbued with spirits, and this one is an umbrella monster. But they're just shy, chill little. Sometimes they're a little bit mischievous, but a lot of the time they're just pretty chill. And this one is pretty chill. He's very shy, but yeah, he's trying his best, just like me. Anyways, yeah, I love this grayscale. It's very cool, says Jam. Aw, thank you so much. Lunar says, damn, I like that painting. Hi, Lunar, how's it going? It's wonderful to... I'm waving at the camera as though you can see. As though you can see me waving. I'm such a dum-dum. Oh my goodness. Anyways, that's an artwork that I did recently. Yeah, and if you're not familiar with the work of Jam, ta-da! I preloaded the Instagram page. I think you just missed the Hollow Knight art book. which is a shame because if you haven't seen the Hollow Knight artwork, it is heckin' gorgeous. Like, look at this book. You should feel very proud, Jam. It is beautiful stuff. Genuinely heckin' beautiful. But anyways, once again, if you're not following Jam, you should go do that. And, yeah. Sammy, I'm waving too. Let me wave again so you can see it. Hello, hello, hello. Jam is lurking. I gotta dip into a lurk. I hope you have a wonderful time with the art. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for the lurk, and thank you so much for the raid as well. I very much appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. And I have been waffling on painting this because I'm very nervous about doing it correctly. I haven't done a watercolor scene before. Sorry, no, that's not true. I've done plenty of watercolors. I have never done a waterfall scene before, so I'm a little bit nervous. Hello to the tiny pencil, says Kirsty. This is my baby, and I'm still using it, and I will be using it for as long as I can. I do have a reserve pencil for when it eventually runs out, but I really hope it doesn't because this pencil has been so good, and I'm gonna miss it very much when it's gone. But that's the thing about art supplies is that they are finite. So, yeah. Anyways, it's time for regular sized paintbrush though, I guess. This is my palette for today. I made it myself with, let's see. So, this is Cobalt Turquoise. Thank you for the 3 steaks, Rex. Thank you very much. Much appreciated for the 3 steaks, Rex. I hope you enjoy a delicious plant-based or regular steak, whichever is your preference, with whatever accoutrements, sides, and sauces you may prefer. Maybe some tacos. Maybe some tacos, or maybe just I don't know. What else do you do with steaks? I don't eat them very often, so I'm maybe just a nice sort of herbed compound butter and some delicious boiled potatoes. Yakiniku. Maybe you can yakiniku the steak. That would be nice. Or a nice slathering of barbecue sauce if that's your bag. I don't know. Anyways. So yeah, basically the deal with this palette of paints that we're using today is this color is Mom. And every other color has a pre-measured amount of this in it. So this is Cobalt Turquoise, and all of these colors have an amount of Cobalt Turquoise mixed into them. It's supposed to make a more harmonious palette of colors, and I think it's a set of colors that will work really, really well for this sort of scene that I'm working on. Steak tartare with egg yolk on top, says Sarah. Wow, that sounds fancy, and I hope you enjoy it. Hello, Sarah. Welcome in. Also, B-Raid, I guess. Hi! Hoi, hoi, hoi. Lovely to see you, Sarah. How are you doing? Rex says, I do like making some Welsh seasoned. There you go. Welsh seasoned shredded steak for burritos. I bet that would be super, super good. Love that for you. You can use steaks to send vampires for a nap. Please don't hurt vampires. They're my friends. Unless they're mean to you, in which case, have at it, I guess. Get their asses. No one's allowed to be mean to my people. Anyways, but yes, this was Cobalt Red Medium, Chromium Orange Hue, Cobalt Yellow Light, Helio Green, Cobalt Blue Deep, Manganese, Violet. I don't know what happened to my brain there. It literally just like blue screen of death. Let's try this again. Cadmium, red, medium, chromium orange. So many of these start with C, which is very confusing. Cadmium red medium, chromium orange hue, cadmium yellow light, helio green, cobalt blue deep, manganese violet, mahogany brown, Mars black, and just cobalt turquoise. So that's our set of colors for today. And I don't want to start painting it because I'm scared I'm gonna wreck it. I'm so scared that I'm gonna wreck it, which is probably real stupid because I think the thing is, what's the worst thing that can be happening when you do yourself a paint? What is the worstest thing that can be happening when you do a paint? And the answer is it is not that good. And that's also fine. Nothing bad will happen to you or in the world if you're painting bees just okay. So, you know, this is fine. This is going to be fine. This is fine. It's genuinely nothing to worry about. And yet here we are. So I think I really need to just start and then see how we get on. Your soul becomes trapped in a painting, says Lunar, or is it just me? Oh. You know, Lunar, I hadn't thought of that possibility, and now I am afraid, so thank you so much for that. Do you want another terrible drawing time? I mean, you are always welcome to redeem a terrible drawing time, Kobe. If you have an idea, a thought, and 5,000 channel points you want to throw away on a terrible piece of artwork, then you are entirely my guest. As always. Cassa says, apparently I'm on cat-sitting duty next week. For everyone who enjoys photos of Billy. Yes. Kitty! Oh, I would love to see it. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Love that for you. Okay, so I'm going to take the bits of this painting that are... Okay. The dudes are swimming anyway, so I don't think they'll suffer too hard if we just go sideways briefly. But I'm going to take the bits of the painting that are the wettest sort of bits that aren't actively water falling down, and I'm just going to give them a little pre-moisten because I find that makes the paint go on real nice, but not too wet, not like overly wet. I don't want it to be like, I don't want my paint to be swimming on it. I just want my paint to kind of bloom nicely and get some nice nice bit of granulation in there, which hopefully we'll be able to do with this blend. Okay, so I'm gonna start. I have never dipped into this to this pan before. Fresh pan touchy is very exciting. Oh, so smooth, so smooth. The other ones, because I actually mixed paints together and kind of stirred them up, they've all got like air bubbles in them because I was not able to vibrate out the air bubbles despite my best efforts. Because I do have a paint wobbler over here, which is the thing that sounds like that. I could not wobble out the bubbles on this because if I try and put this on the paint wobbler, it is going to fly out of my hand, and I don't want that to happen when I've got wet paint on it, obviously. So here we are. I do have a number of reference images up of the kinds of waterfalls that I have in mind for this, so I'm just taking a look to see what sort of color we have for the water, and I'm going a little bit extra blue here compared to my reference, but I also just think that that'll be really nice and pretty. But I will be going in and giving that a little bit of finesse, a little bit of adjustment, a little bit of gradients here and there. Just to keep it interesting. Is this gonna, you know, like, this is not full realism, because it's me, and I don't know how to do that. My formal art education is like my secondary school art teacher a gazillion years ago said, okay, I will let you pass this class, but you have to promise never to take an art class again in your life. And I said, yeah, but I had my fingers crossed behind my back because, like, what the F, dude? Why would you say that to just completely, just absolutely obliterate any confidence that, like, a child has in their abilities? It actually, I stopped doing art for a few years partly because of that, which I just, when I think about where I might be as an artist if I hadn't had the setbacks I had in my life, I feel a little bit sad, but I try not to feel too sad. Because ultimately, I've still got a lot to be proud of. Anyways. Sorry to get poetical there for a second. Anywho, okay, there's our nice little sort of pool of turquoise. But I'm going to need to kind of just modify it a smidge. So I'm going to pick up, this is actually the orange of our palette, but I think it'll work really well here. To kind of just get under the somewhat more shallow bits around the edges here, where sort of some other color might kind of want to bleed in a little bit. Wow, what an asshole, says Kobe, right? Like, who the heck says that to a child? Jesus Louises, Mr. Olson. You should feel very ashamed of yourself. I don't know. Like, you know, I wasn't the most amazing student for sure, but like I clearly had some measure of skill and some measure of creativity. And yeah, apparently it was just like, well, you're not doing very well academically, so let's just bury that instead of, I don't know, maybe have you considered that you might have a learning disability? Anyways, I have ADHD. But they didn't know that at the time. I don't think it had been invented yet. Don't let's talk about our ages, but that was a long old time ago. Or, I mean, it was invented at that point, but it was mostly a kind of, you know, oh, geez, are we giving too many medicines to little boys who can't sit still in class? And that was about the conversation around it at the time. So, what does one expect? For you, Fleur, hello, welcome in. How are you doing? I'm sorry my painting is kind of falling off camera again, but here we are. Actually, I already think that looks quite cool. I'm gonna stop futzing with the watery bit for now. I don't want to over futz with this. I'm gonna need to add some little like ripples and stuff, textures around the two little swimming peoples, but I think that might do for the water for now. I don't want to, you want to balancing your futz quantities is one of the hardest things to know how to do as a painter, I think. And knowing when it's time to stop futzing is a very special skill that I think a lot of us can sometimes struggle with. I know I do. I used to, for years, I would err on the side of just like, okay, I'm going to not futz at all. And a lot of my art probably could have done with a little bit more futzing. Like, why did I not bother shading anything for a really long time? I don't know, because I was scared to learn how to do it. But anyways, the water looks like it has clouds reflected in it, says Lunar. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Some people should not be teaching, says Samantha. I had a few of those when I was a youngin', and I guess my one solace is that given the age that I am now, they must all be retired. Anyways, Lunar says, you can't have a learning disability. You present them, says Lunar. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yep, you're not wrong. I say angrily being in the same boat. Yep. So frustrating. Cassa says they didn't discover I'm neurodivergent at school. They discovered it at Child Mental Health Services where I was being treated for anxiety and depression. I hope that you were able to access support that was helpful and good to you. So, there you go. I very much do. And if not, I hope you are able to get that kind of support now. Say, at the very least, among your peers who totally get it and have been in similar boats, and we're all in this together. I'm pulling for you. Samantha says, ADHD was invented in 1998 by Albert Dorey and Humphrey Dodgson as a replacement for autism, but most people ended up thinking the spices complemented each other really well. They're like cinnamon and cardamom. They just want to be together in the same delicious chubby little bun. That's me. Anyways. Kobe says, yeah, I think some teachers don't understand what kind of impact they can have on developing minds. It genuinely, like, the advice that you give to a child as an authority figure and as someone that they look up to, and even if they're like a defiant child, you are still someone whose assessment and opinions are going to have an impact on a young person to, just like to flippantly say stuff that is going to stick with them. Like if someone's taking like a first year creative writing course at university and you just say like, you should not be a novelist. That is just closing off an entire avenue of that person's creative expression. Like, you just did that, Hopefully, they'll have the critical thinking to recognize that the opinion of, like, one jaded old fart is not worth anything in the grand scheme of things. But it is really hard sometimes for a lot of people, especially young people, to arrive at that conclusion, and it takes time. So, yay! It's really frustrating to me. Sometimes I wish I had it in me to get into something like teaching and that kind of thing, just because I feel like we need more people who have that kind of, understanding and what have you to be in those professions, encouraging young people to continue to, foster their love of learning and recognize that, like, it's okay to be not good at stuff. You keep working at it if it's something that you want to be good at. But yeah, I also don't have it in me to teach for various reasons. I think the most I could handle is like, here's like a tutorial video, and not even that. Here's just like a process video of how I did this thing. Now you can do it and learn from me, I guess. Oh, Cassis says, I accidentally took one of your stickers on a tour of southern England on my week off. It went to Bath, back to Oxford, and to London. Oh, wow, and across London. Oh, that's nice. I hope it had a nice time. To which end, I'm gonna... Cassa, I hope it's okay if I segue your statement into letting everyone know that I have a shop that is available. My commissions are open right now as well. Though I might not get around to painting until next week because I have so much to do this week. For anyone who missed it, I'm not streaming this Friday because I had a sudden last-minute change of plans come up that is... It's good news, but it's also very stressful for me because I don't like my plans changing at the last minute. And it also means that I have to paint like 3 new watercolor paintings that I can't do on stream because they are gifts. So, I've got 1 sketch done, and I have to try and finish 2 more sketches and 3 paintings by Thursday night at the latest. So that's going to be interesting, and I can't do them on stream because they are gifts. Yay! I also have a commission that I need to finish, which is, it's turning out so cute. I'm really, really happy with it. You will probably see it when it's done if I'm allowed to share. I will check in with the commissioner, but it's, it is a more general piece and not like a super personal piece, so I'm sure it'll be fine if I to put it in my socials, but I will check in, of course, because yeah, some commissions are personal. Some commissions are like, I want to see you draw this Homestuck character, which I have done, and I still don't know anything about Homestuck. I can't remember what the name of the character was because it was many, many years ago, but they were like one of the little gray troll creatures, and she was, I don't know, holding something that was significant to the fan. But yeah, anyways. Luna says your commissions are open. Also, yay, good news, but changing plans. Yeah, it's good news, but also I'm gonna be so tired. Anyways, Fuyu Fleur says, excuse me, I was really disheartened when I studied art in college. The teachers called my art arts and crafts, which I felt just really belittled my art and effort so much. Now, 10 years later, I just make what I want. Hell yeah, just making what you want. I think there should not be like a value distinction between like art and craft. Because really it's all just different subgenres of the same thing. It's expression. It's storytelling, it's things what look good. It's some things that also have a functional purpose and other things whose functional purpose is just it makes me feel happy. Or it makes me think about things in ways that I enjoy. Or it tells a story. Or, it conveys a message that is important to me, or whatever it may be. This is dried so pretty. Sorry, just... So I love these paints, because that water already looks really good, I think. I think that worked really, really well for the effect that I was trying to go for. Part of the reason that I chose Cobalt Turquoise as a mix-in for all of these other paints is that it is, it's quite a granulating color, so it creates nice textures in washes with other colors, which is makes for some really, really fun textures in your landscapes and other such paintings, which I love. Everything I know about Homestuck I learned from Sarah Zed's video. Oh my god, you've unlocked a memory, Samantha. I did watch Sarah Zed make a video about Homestuck. There was a lot happening. There was a lot, and I don't remember a lot about the story. I remember having an acquaintance who was like, you should get into Homestuck, it's cool, and I'm like, what is it? And they're like, it's a webcomic, and I tried reading it / watching it, and I was like, this disagrees vehemently with my brain, and I noped out after, like, page 2. and that was the extent for me. If you enjoy it, or if you enjoyed it, then, I love that for you. Anyways, there was also a follow-up video where the Homestuck person tried to sue her. I do remember that as well, because I think there were potentially some controversies in there that they didn't like that she was talking about, if memory serves. Which, yikes. Hay fever, says Casa. Oh no, hay fever is the worstest. I'm so sorry to hear that. BRB, you need to find the meds. Good luck, good luck, good luck. I hope that you are able to find them. Okie dokie. I'm going to try and paint in some rock type formations in here. You know what? I am deeply stressed about it, but I'm gonna try and start painting in some of these like rocky, outcroppy, formation-y doodads that are happening in this painting. I kind of vaguely based it on some actual rocks that exist in the world, but more or less it's really just its own thing. I do apologize for my sniffles as well. Maybe I'm having some hay fever. I don't know. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee before I do, because once again I am waffling. Yay! Dark is alive! I'm so glad to hear it. Hello, Dark. Congratulations on being alive. Somebody splurged and got lactose-free milk, by the way, and it's real good. I love drinking milk without being scared that I'm going to get a tummy ache. I mean, obviously when I drink regular milk, I do have pills for that. But there's always a little bit of lingering fear in the back of my head that I didn't take my pill quickly enough, or I took my pill too long ago, or I'm drinking too much milk for this pill to, like, work on. Lactose intolerance is no joke, and it stinks, and I do not recommend it. Okay, this gray wants to be a little bit warmer, so I think I'm actually going to warm it up by adding a little bit of this red, because this red morphed into such a cool color. And I think it's going to make for a nifty brownish rock hue for sort of these very vague rock formations I've got in the foreground here. Now I have things to do that are meant to be things I did last week, so gonna lurk, says Dark. Oh, beans. Okay, well, good luck with the getting of the things done. Oh my goodness gracious. Ooh, this is a pretty color. Very, very, very cool. Okay. There's gonna need to be some more, like, nuance and stuff to these rocks, I think, as we go on, but at least if we have, like, just some establishing sort of semi-flat rock color in the first place, I'll have something to work off of, I guess. So that'll be good. So let me just fill all this. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna paint over that bit of plant matter, because I honestly am not sure now whether or not I actually want that to be there. I just don't know. I just don't know. Okay. Alright. Now then. Question for the chat. How was your weekend? Did you get up to anything fun? I was under the weather for at least parts of it, so I didn't. Hello? Okay. One moment, chat. I will be right back. Oh no. Oh no. No. Okay. Okay. Alright, little buddy. Alright, little buddy. Just climb off. Just climb off. Just climb off to safety. Go outside. Go outside. Go outside. Please don't crawl over my paint. Oh my god. Just climb off the... Okay. Okay, you're free. I don't know if you could see, but there was a teeny tiny baby spider that crawled onto my painting. Right. There was a teeny tiny spider that crawled onto my painting. I do not know if you could see it on stream, but I didn't really want it crawling through the paint, which it did anyways, but I did manage to get it out the window to safety. So it is now outside and having a lovely time out there. I sincerely hope. Oh, it was terrifying though. I'm terrified of spiders, by the way. So that was fun. My false energy is kicked in, says Lunar, so I gotta clean before that too leaves. All right, have a lovely time, Lunar, and thank you so much for hanging out, and have a lovely, lovely lurk. That sounded so cute, says Fuyu. It was genuinely a little bit nerve-wracking, but we got there in the end. It was all right. Should I have wetted these rocks before I started painting them? Probably should have done, but never mind. Okay, once we get up here, it's going to be mostly trees, so most of that's going to be kind of covered up by foliage anyways. So I'm not too worried about it. But this is going to be visible rocks. And we're going to be doing some layering with this, I think. But, for the time being, this will do. I'll just wet this down a smidge, because it looks weird. If I can, that'd be super rad. Yes, I can. Okay, wizard. I'm not as convinced by sort of the rock colors, but we'll get there. Spider friend, says Samantha. They've gone outside, I'm sorry. But they wanted to contribute to the painting, which is kind of cute, but on the other hand, not exactly my artistic vision. And I am a little protective of my artistic vision. Which is fine. That's allowed. Anyways. How do I feel about that color? I don't know. Speaking of hay fever, I need to blow my nose. Do I have any tissues in here? Yes, I do. 1 second. Okay. And don't worry, I will mute the mic before I blow my nose because nobody wants to listen to that. 1 moment. Alright, Indigo says, I was at Pride and it rained. Oh, beans! I hope it was refreshing and not unpleasant. There was a guy with one of those Jesus can save you signs, but just a minute before I saw Jesus and he was dressed in a rainbow. Hell yeah, love that. Love the rainbow Jesus, not so much the dude who is probably there to complain, which, boo. Boo! Anyways, I hope you had a lovely time at Pride anyways. I haven't been to a Pride event in a few years. Because the last time I went to the London one back in, like, I think maybe 2018, 2019, which distressingly is like 5 or 6 years ago. And it was so crowded that it was mildly overwhelming. I went with my friend because it was right around her birthday. And I had to, like... we had to hold hands for safety the entire time, which I don't mind because holding hands is lovely, but we had to hold hands for safety the entire time because we were very afraid of getting lost and, sort of like losing each other in the crowds and stuff. But it was a fun time, but it was too busy. I think I think these days if I were to go to another Pride, it would probably be one of the sort of quieter, more local prides that they have, like here in my city of residence, which is much smaller than London. The last time I went to that one, it was like a few dozen people sort of walking around a few city blocks, and it was much more chill, which was, I think, more my vibe. But yeah. Though I was with my significant other at that one the last time I went to that one, and I always feel a little bit weird, or a little bit like, are people gonna think that, because I think outwardly I don't know if we read as a queer couple, even though obviously, it me, so nothing about this relationship is cishet. But yeah, I just don't know. And I always feel a little like self-conscious, I guess, about do I really, but do I really belong here? Yes, but do I really? And if obviously the answer is yes, but there's a lot of internalized crappy things that other people say to try and unlearn that is a lifelong pursuit. Anyways, but yeah, it didn't stay for long because I'm not a fan of crowds, says Indigo. Yeah, that's a mood. That is a mood. That is very much a mood. I feel that deep in my soul. trying to add some greenery and crud to some of these rocks. I'm not sure I like the way it's reading, but I think it'll look better once the whole thing is done. I'll do some more zhuzhing as time goes on, and it'll keep getting better, hopefully, because right now it looks really... This is, I think, one of those paintings that is going to go through about a gazillion massively ugly duckling stages before it gets to the part where it actually looks nice. I looked very not gay compared to everyone there. I mean, that's the thing, like, what does queer look like? And there is no answer for that, because what queer looks like is whatever, like, any given queer person looks like, and that looks like a person, you know? But I think we have certain ideas in our heads of what, like, sort of performing queerness in a public space looks like, and it's probably not, you know, like... myself, who mistakenly could conceivably be read for cishet, even though I'm neither of those things, and, you know, sort of going out with my partner, which he, you know, sort of, you would see and probably think, well, that's a straight dude, and then you see the two of us, and you might be like, yep, that's a cishet couple. Well, okay, thanks, allies, but I'm not one. No. You know, and I do try and oftentimes try and, like, signal with my little pins that have little flags on them and little pronouns on them, just to be like, hey, because I don't know what else to do. But I always just feel a little bit self-conscious in these kinds of spaces because of the amount of discourse, and there shouldn't be discourse about it at all, but because of the amount of discourse that exists largely on the internet, largely by people who don't know a lot of queer history, about, like, oh, you know, you don't count. And, like, of course you do, you know. Everyone who is under the umbrella counts, damn it. But, because those ideas and those terrible, crappy opinions still continue to persist, it's sometimes difficult to know whether or not this is a place where I do feel safe and comfortable being myself. I just ended up grabbing a free sticker and slapping it on my shirt, says Indigo. Hell yeah, nice. Good. I love that. Also, congrats on the free sticker. Hell yeah. Ah, yes, the bi boyfriend at Pride discourse. It's just... It makes me so angry. It should not be discourse. It should not be discourse at all. Like, there should be no discourse about this, you know? Like, bis, obviously, it's right there in the gosh damn acronym. It's right there in the acronym. If you're bi, this event is for you. But, you know, people get weird. They're like, oh, but are you really? It's like, yes! And you have nothing to prove to anyone about that. You know? The idea that you do is just, I don't know. Like, can we maybe not fight amongst ourselves about dumb crap like that? You know, there are continuing injustices in the world where it is genuinely unsafe to be all manner of not cishet. And we should be focusing on our efforts on, you know, helping to dismantle those attitudes and those, like, legislations that exist in the world, and not nitpicking about whether or not, oh, well, if you're a girl and you have a boyfriend, then you're not bi enough to go to Pride. Like, get in the bin. Anyways. You need at least 5 registered non-cishet identities to show up, says Indigo. Oh, I hate it. And you have to look a certain way. Wait. Yeah, exactly. Like, come on. Sigh. Anyways, enough about that, because it makes me feel sad. But I think it's an important conversation to have as well, so glad to have it. Okay. I'm going to make another sort of brownie color for some other rocks, for which I'm going to use, again, starting with this Mars Black, which is kind of a greenish black, I would say. It used to be something of a warm black. Now it's kind of a greenish black, and I'm going to add a little bit of mahogany brown to it to actually warm it up a smidge. But just a little bit. I want this one to be a little even grayer. And I'm going to do these rocks at the back here. And I'm going to start with a fairly light wash, I think, on them. Which, again, will probably look a little bit weird for now, but we'll come in and sort of do some glazing and shading and all that jazz a little bit later on. And also trying to not paint in the bits where there's some water, because there's some water trickling down from the past these rocks from the waterfall up there. So I want to make sure that that is also obvious and visible. Okay. So this is just a little very undefined pile of pebbles right now. Doesn't it look silly? It does a bit, but never mind. There's another one kind of back here. And then maybe if I kind of blend this with a little bit of that, so it's a little bit grayer because it's a little bit further away. So if we can gray it out a smidge, that would be super rad. Water that down a little bit more. Because there's another little formation kind of happening here, and then it kind of just fades into tree at this point, so I'm going to kind of fade it out up there. Okay, sorry if I got quiet there for a second. I was concentrating on putting paint down. Okay, this is all feeling very sort of rough and sketchy at the moment, but I think that's okay for this sort of initial stages of getting it colored in anyways. I think that's fine. I'm not too terribly concerned. How do you make watercolors look so soft, says Indigo. Is it just loads of water? It's just loads of water, yeah. I have used a very, very little bit of paint and just like a boatload of water. I'm gonna add a little bit of this green for these bits kind of towards the back where we've kind of got some funky little row. I am vaguely, very, very vaguely basing this on some actual waterfall stuff that exists, namely the Osugidani Gorge in Japan, but it is vague. It's not meant to be like a depiction of this exact geographical location. It's more trying to capture a vibe rather than like recreate a travel photo, you know what I mean? I really like the turquoise, says Aoife. Makes me want to cycle to the lake and hang my feet in and read my book. Oh, I bet that would feel so flipping good. That would feel so incredibly good. I would love that for you. Hell yeah. That'd be super nice. I would love to do that also, as a matter of fact. Okay, there's kind of just... a pile of little rocks here. And then maybe just blend a little bit of that together. And we maybe just want a little something happening here. Which kind of disappears into mostly trees coming up here. So that ought to do it for now. Pretty rough, pretty sketchy, I still don't really know how to do the actual water portion, but I'll probably save that for last because I'm genuinely terrified of doing it. Aoife says, nice try. I know waterfalls are make-believe existing waterfalls. Hey, I'm also trying to draw waterfalls, says Indigo. Hell yeah, you got that, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Nice, love that for you. Oh, my moderator slash spouse has asked me a very important question. Um, he wants to know if I need any crisps or snacks because I love him. I love you. I have written. Okay, anyways. Hopefully he was actually still in the supermarket when I said that, because now I'm not sure. Oh no. What am I gonna do? Okay. I wanted to actually kind of these bits right at the back. Just kind of really soften and gray them out because they're a little bit further away. And I'll probably shade them in less and add a little bit less detail because they're getting a little further away from the camera or where the audience is being for the moment. So I want them to feel a little bit more dull. A little bit further away. I can speak. I still have the ability to word, I swear. Okay. I think I need to let this dry. So I'm going to grab a super quick BRB to let that dry, and then I will look at starting to add in all of the little bits of tree branches so that I can then add all of the tree matter on the top. And that I think is going to take me a really long time because I don't have a super easy way of doing it that I can think of. So that's going to get interesting. I think this piece is starting to come together. I think it looks ugly as F right now, but it's only about 10% done, so I'm not too concerned about that. Oh, it was raining today, says Eve. It was so nice. Oh, I'm so jealous. I keep checking. So, basically, I'm going to be in London on, Friday to take care of to do some business. And I keep checking the weather forecast and hoping that and the temperature for London keeps going up. It said 21 degrees this morning, and I was like, yes, that's perfect. Having to be, like, on the tube in London and then not be a sweaty mess when you have to interact with people you're meeting for the first time temperatures. And now it's a high of 25. And I'm like, no. Because that means I'm going to be a sweaty mess. And I don't want to be a sweaty mess when I'm meeting people for the first time. That is way too much pressure, and I'm panicking now. So I'm going to quickly BRB. Please enjoy the BRB screen. Is the BRB song playing? It's not. Please enjoy the BRB song. I will be back in just a minute. So hang in there. Have yourself a drink. Do a stretch. Do all that jazz. I'll be back in a minute. You're all breathtaking. Okay, friends. I'm back. Hello. Hello. We're back. Hello. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for sticking with us through the BRB, which was, I know, not the most thrilling of times, but I hope you enjoyed the BRB music. And I do apologize for anyone who saw some ads. It is a necessary evil of the platform. You cannot opt out of having any ads. You can pay to not see them, but then you have to give Twitch money. So, I do apologize. But it also means that folks coming in for the next little bit don't have to see them, which is nice. Anyways, I know there's like the recommended ad schedule that Twitch puts forward that's like 3 minutes per hour, and I don't do that because I trialed it for a couple of weeks, and boy, did people hate that. They hated it so much. So I stopped doing it because I want to be, if there has to be ads, and apparently there does, I would like for them to be as unobtrusive and pleasant as possible as I am allowed to make it. And that's about as much as I am able to do. I need this to dry before I rough in my foliage, which is very annoying, but not insurmountable, but just means that I need to vamp for a few minutes because I am incapable of painting because I don't want to paint over these wet bits. For the moment, I want those to dry down, and then I'll continue working on them. So here we are. So, hi everyone. In case you're curious, this is decaf that I'm drinking today. This decaf is from a roastery that's local to me in my place of residence, which is somewhere in Oxfordshire. It's Tastes like a decaf. It's nice. It's nice. It's got a little bit of a syrupiness to it. And, I don't know, a bit of that decaf flavor to it. Anywho, is my camera working? Testing. There seems to be a little bit of delay with the camera for me anyways. It's still connected as it should be. Okay, we're back in sync. Yay! I got advertised ice cream, but not by Jason Momoa this time. Did you get a Jason Momoa ice cream advert? I've never seen that. It must be local to your locality. Anyways, I mean, I do, of all the things to advertise, I prefer ice cream to things I ideologically oppose, which I sometimes see ads for on here, and I'm like, I don't like it. Anyways, oh dear, my partner says that they've forgotten something from the shops, but as to what, who knows? I'm sure it is not important in that case. I love you! Exclamation point. That's the important bit, that we love each other. Anyways, Ford was not enough for the Oxes. They also want Shire. says Indigo. Yes, exactly. They want to cross the river and, I don't know, go frolic and eat pies and live in little houses with circular doors. I'm just trying to think of what you would do in the Shire, and my mind says mostly drink tea and read little books, do gardening, I guess. I don't know. I'd love to live someplace like the Shire. It sounds so nice. Just being able to, like, read your little books, do some little gardening, not have to go to Mordor. Ugh. Oh well. I don't get to live in the Shire, but I live in Shire, so I mean that's something, I guess. Shire LaBeouf. I don't want to live in actor man Shia LaBeouf. I don't want to live inside that man. I feel like there's not enough space and probably a lot of organs in there. It might get gross. Anyways, is this dry enough for me? No, it's still wet, damn it. Ah, beans. Okay. I'll just wait. I mean, given who wrote it, says Samantha, I doubt there's anywhere more the Shire than Oxfordshire. I mean, you're not wrong. I have read stories of So if you don't know, the Lord of the Rings books and the Hobbitses and all that jazz were written by a fellow named Jonald Ronald Rolkin Tolkien, or JRR for short, or JERT if you want to just fully turn the full acronym into a word of its own. So now JERT famously did in fact be here at the University of Oxford, which is in the city of Oxford, which is in Oxfordshire, which is where I live. Jars the Sledge. Hey darling, welcome in. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. Hello. For anyone who doesn't know, Twitch user / Callier is my spouse. Jill, hello, welcome in as well. Hello. I was just giving a little bit of local history. How goes the arting? Well, I'm waiting for this layer of paint to dry so I can start roughing in the idea of where I would like to place some foliage in the vicinity of our waterfall. But yes, Mr. Jonald Ronald Rolkin Tolkien not only lived in the city of Oxford, I've been to pubs that he did drink at, though one of them quite famously was a hangout for him and also the Narnia guy who they were buddies. I don't know whether or not it's reopened yet, because it was closed for quite a while, and then somebody bought it, and then they were going to turn it into a hotel or something, and then they weren't again, and they were just going to have it be a pub, and I don't really visit that end of town very often, so I genuinely have no clue. But I've been there. It was a nice pub when it was open. Anyways, Oxford is very well known for very short people with hairy feet. That would be me. That would be, indeed, his wife. Your streamer. I mean, they're not that bad. It's mostly just my big toe. Anyways, Hobbit, says Jill. Yes, indeed. But I have read accounts of so Mr. Tolkien did teach at the University of Oxford, which is the one of the universities in our fair city. And I have read accounts from former students of his about how much he did not want to be teaching. That man did not want to be teaching. That man wanted to, I don't know. that man wanted to just write his little stories and do fantasy linguistics of make-believe languages and not be bothered to have to actually teach tutorials and things to the students who were paying to have their papers graded by him. Which, again, I think circles back to the issue of how difficult it is, I think, to have and to be a good teacher. There are a lot of people who are luminaries in their fields, but that doesn't necessarily qualify them for being a good instructor. A lot of I think the best instructors I had, certainly when I was at university, I did not go to university at Oxford because I'm not that fancy. I went to university back in Canada. But I would say my favorite and my best instructors in those years were the people who really just, what they wanted to do was teach. Teaching wasn't something that they did in between, sort of writing research papers and going, writing books and going on tours and speaking at conferences and all that jazz. What they wanted to be doing was teaching, which is not necessarily what is the most valued as an academic. Universities want these luminaries like Tolkien who are kind of like, I actually have to go teach a class? Gross. But, but there you go. I mean, if you were to ask me, like, do I want to be doing my day job? I would tell you, I don't want to do this. I want to not do this. Obviously, I would rather be painting my silly little paintings. But unfortunately, even people like Tolkien need to have normal jobs sometimes, and I wish that we didn't. But here we are. Jill says, I've had people tell me I'd be a good teacher, but for the same reason, I just don't want to. Yeah, no, absolutely. And yet, there are some people out there whose genuine passion is teaching, and I think that should be, within the sphere of higher education, the people who's genuinely just passionate about passing on their knowledge are the people who we should really be, like, uplifting and supporting and giving the biggest, bestest jobs to. Because they're the ones who really want to. Do art and write stories as opposed to having to do work. Sounds familiar, says Sledge. I mean, yes, I know. Glass houses. Because I would love to not have a day job. My day job is crushing my spirit and making me want to just not continue existing a lot of the time. And it's not fun. And I don't like it. And I cannot think of a better alternative that would make me not feel sad apart from getting to paint stuff and finishing my screenplay and writing little stories and painting little things and doing weird, dumb history videos. The next YouTube video is almost done, by the way. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, I'm going to drop a link in the chat just in case. Because it'd be really cool if you did. I'm nowhere near being monetized, but hey. Anyways, not everyone enjoys working, says Lunar. Hi, at me. Instead of jobs, we should just have UBI, says Samantha. Yeah, and train the robots to do the menial labor instead of training them to do the creative jobs and having people do the menial... Yes, exactly. Why can't I have a robot that organizes my house for me so that I don't have to feel stressed about the fact that my house is disorganized while I'm trying to paint? Please and thank you. Anyways. Would love that for us. Like, damn it. Come on, y'all. And yet let's automate making artworks. But it's like that artwork is bad. Like, I know some of my artwork is bad too, but at least I did it, Anyways, I didn't just think of some words and feed them into an art-stealing robot. But enough about that, because that is depressing. That makes me feel sad. It's really hard these days for me not to feel like life is just going to get worse. And I'm sorry if that's really bleak. And I don't like to be bleak on stream. I like to be cozy on stream. But a lot of the time I really genuinely do just feel like life is just going to get worse. And it's hard not to feel that way with But then again, that might just be because, you know, like, we all have phones, and we see a lot of crap on the internet that isn't necessarily reflective of what the world is like outside of that. Some of those things are really, really good. Some of those things suck. And I hope there will always be something of a thirst for just the joy of an act of human Okay. Eddie Van whatever, you can just get directly, hold on. You can get directly to fuck. Please. There we go. Just, yeah, can you... Why do I have to press so many things to ban you? Spam. Go away. Anyways. Oh, I think we were on it at once. Heck. Ban social media, says Sledge. Best viewers are already here though, bot. Aw. I mean, it's true. You're all wonderful people. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. To everyone who is running arttheft.exe. No, that's the worst exe to run. No. Anyways, thank you for being on the ban while I was waffling trying to ban Sledge. I wasn't sure if you were still here, but I very much appreciate it. How do I beat the Traitor Lord without getting impatient and dying, says Lux. That is a really good question, and it depends on your general strategy, I guess. I mean, I think the most important thing that you have been trained for before doing the Traitor Lord fight, I hope, is using your dash action. To keep from getting hit by stuff. Dash, and dash, and dash, and dash. Dash, dash, dash. Dash through that guy and do some oof ouches if you have Sharp Shadow equipped. But obviously that's up to you. I don't want to backseat your game, Lux. Hi, how's it going? Lovely to see you. Welcome on in. For anyone who has no idea of whence I speak to my friend Lux here, I do believe that my friend here is playing Hollow Knight. Either that, or you're having some really weird things happening in your personal life, and, you know, that's none of my bees knees. Indigo says, this Hornet would say, get good! Yes, also. No, you're doing amazing. And Cloth needs to help more. Cloth is doing amazing, and we love her. So, there you go. Samantha says, take a couple level, dip into Rogue, so you can use dash as a bonus action. Yeah, hell yeah. Perfect. You know, speaking of bonus actions, I am so used to playing a tiny little creature in Dungeon Dragons. And I've been thinking, you know, next time I make a character for like a one-shot or whatever in D&D, I should do a character who's like a large character again, because the very first character created was a Firbolg, and she was 8 feet tall. But pretty much ever since then, I've been a fairly short creature. And one of the features that I have as a goblin, and I'm a goblin in the main campaign that I play in Dungeons and Dragons, is Nimble Escape, which is very, very useful. It's a bonus action. You can disengage or hide, which is super helpful in fights if you are, you know, right in harm's way. And you're like, okay, maybe I want to get under some cover. You can just be like, okay, now that that's done, I'm just going to go hide. Goodbye, everybody. I'm just going to be behind this rock, but don't tell that to the monster. Cool. Anyways. And that's my character's voice, by the way. They are very fun. Anyways. Lunar says, I want a tall character too. I always play medium, but I want to play someone 8 feet. 8 foot is fun. Especially the joy of trying to do a stealth task when you are 8 feet tall. I have a distinct memory. Okay, again, this is the first D&D character I ever created. This is the first game I ever played of Dungeons & Dragons. Actually, I think it might be the second session I ever did. I was the druid, so technically I could wild shape into like a little mountain hare or something, right? I'm in the forest. It would stand to reason that like a little, you know, sort of fawn might trot by. But no, I'm stupid, so I decide to try and stealthily tiptoe past a camp of potential enemies as an 8 foot tall person. Just do 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 do. And of course they noticed us, and I had to be like, "Hail and well met, friends! Hello! Just tiptoeing through the forest as you do. No worries at all." It was very fun. Samantha says 8-foot tall characters are helpful for getting things off top shelves. Yes, and also lifting your dwarf fighter spouse off the ground and carrying them, which is very fun. Sledge says my D&D character is probably about to die, so my next character is a 7'1.5" pro surfer dude, and he is not dying. He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. Listen, my Dungeons and Dragons character is way too attached to my spouse's Dungeons and Dragons character to allow anything to happen to him. He has so many cool hats, that character. And we love him very much. I mean, I have seen the Hero Forge mock-up of the new character that my partner has created, and he's very cute and very fun. But no. Aroneko, hello, welcome in. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, hello, hello. I was just waffling about Dungeon Dragons. Signal's crappy, so dropping off. See you shortly. Have a lovely rest of your journey, my love, and I hope to see you very, very, very soon, because somebody's on the bus home. Yay! And I'm very happy about it. Anywho, so Samantha says Dungeons and Dragons, the world's best dungeon-themed hat simulator. Yep. That is exactly what it be. That being said, I don't think I've ever had a Dungeons and Dragons character who notably had a hat. All of my characters have been hatless. Oh, I mean, do you count a flower crown? Because my druid did have a flower crown. If a flower crown counts, then yes, I did have a hat, but I genuinely don't know. Aroneko has shared an emote that I can best describe as Buzz! I hope that's good. Thank you. Flower crowns 100% count, says Samantha. Okay, awesome. I have had one character who had a hat. She was very tall, and she had a flower crown. I bought a flower crown from Flying Tiger, so I could really get into character. That was very silly of me. Aroneko says no. Oh no. Is everything okay? I hope everything's okay. Sending you all the best. And good feelings. Counts 120%. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Thank you. That's 120% is fine with me. I think I'm just going to use this beautiful brown blend for some of my foliage. And then maybe as the foliage gets smaller and further away, I will gray it out a smidge. Mahogany brown in and of itself is this beautiful warm brown that has plenty of texture. It's super nice. But I have blended it with a little bit of the turquoise, so it is it's kind of grayed out the brown and kind of made it a little bit less. It's basically taken the reddishness out of it and made it almost sort of more of a blackish brown, which I really, really like. I think this is I think it's a useful brown. I think this is a good brown. I think this is a great palette. I think this is going to be a great palette for things like nature-y, landscapey stuff. Now these branches, this foliage is going to be vague, and it's going to be small, and it's going to be mostly covered up by leaves. But this is primarily to give me something of an indication of where I need, like, greenery and stuff to go. So because there is some plants growing out of these rocks and some trees on the top of them up above. And I want to try and attempt to capture that vibe. As I say, most of this is not going to be super visible when all is said and done. It's really more just kind of a guideline for me to figure out where things are going, where they be, where everything is living. And hopefully it won't look bad. Basically, hopefully it won't look bad. is very much is very much the aim at the moment. I think I'm not gonna put any plants on this sort of foregroundy outcropping, and I'm just gonna have them kind of coming in from behind it. Again, just very, very sketchy plant shapes happening here. Just kind of like the sides of trees and what have you sticking out. And hopefully that will look all right. Okay. I'm just going to make some slight modifications to the color. As we get a little bit further away, things tend to get a little bit less colorful. They're a little bit more influenced by sort of distance and haze and atmosphere and, I don't know, yada yada science. Don't ask me to adequately explain it because I can't, because I'm stupid. Coming soon to a theater near you. Hopefully it won't look bad. An artist's story. Oh god, I feel very, very perceived right now. But you know what? It's true, and I'm right, and I should say it. Because that's how I feel, okay? I am just speaking what is in my heart. Anyways. Even tinier bits of branches sticking out. Hanging out and having a good time. La 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 la. Okay. Sticky outy bits here and there. Sorry to start singing along with my attempts at drawing just little sort of planty guidelines of where the various sticky outy treely bits should be. Honestly, this is getting pretty hecking vague, but I think it'll be good to have just sort of the skeletal ideas of trees happening back here to kind of be able to fill in and such. It'll make it feel a little bit more, hopefully, complete, I suppose. There might be some little instances of exposed rock periodically, but for the most part is tree. Is mostly just tree. And then as we get further away, we're really kind of getting into the area where the rocks, we're kind of at the top of the rocks here. We're mostly just seeing trees. Do I want to, oh gee, I don't like that blob. Hold on. Let me get rid of this blob. I don't like the way it turned out. When your watercolor is real wet, sometimes you can just put some more water on top of it and then mostly get rid of it. Pro life tip. Sometimes you can kind of erase your watercolors a little. And it's really useful. Of course, not if you let it sit, but... Alright, very, very gray. Very dull. And I should probably be using a finer brush point at this point, but that requires a smidgen more effort than I'm able to muster at the moment. Oh, that is too pale. Oh, geez, that is way too pale. Never mind. Am I just making lines now? Yes. Yes, I am absolutely 100% just making lines, but at some point in their future, they will become a semblance of little thatches of trees. And hopefully at that point, I'll be able to make it make sense. I think I'll be able to make it make sense. I do. But I am genuinely just kind of scribbling lines in kind of in the background here now, just to make it feel full. This is all going to get covered up by greenery and maybe some more rocky stuff. There. Except for this bit, which is the waterfall. But there's still going to be some little bits of tree hanging over the in front of the waterfall in spots, because I think it'll look cute. But not quite so much as much further down. There we go. Okay, awesome. Aaron says I'm doing fine. Just got back to art after a 3-month hiatus. Oh, congratulations. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Welcome back. What are you working on? That's so exciting. I love that for you. That rocks. Hell yeah. Oh, that's super fun. I hope you're having an amazing time of it so far. I hope everything is going super good, and I hope you are, most importantly, enjoying yourself. That is so rad. We love to see it. Can I actually just kind of pop a little bit of that over on that side, because I feel like I just needed a little bit more of a solid color to kind of buffer the waterfall over on that side, because it was looking a little bit funky. Okay. How am I feeling about that? Am I feeling okay? Yeah, I'm feeling okay. Color theory is hard, shading is hard, understanding what colors actually are compared to what your eyes are seeing is really hard. This is all hard, believe it or not. This is really hard. More hiatuses. Oh, geez, just doing some doodles. Sounds like a good plan, my friend. Hell yeah, I love that for you. And as for me, I feel like I need to let this dry a little bit before I think about sort of doing any extra layers and glazing and stuff. So if it's okay, we're going to pivot, and I'm going to work on something else for the rest of stream, because I want to make sure that all of this is bone dry before I do any additional like layers and glazing. Otherwise, potentially bits that we've just put down will get lifted off when I put more stuff on top of that, and we don't want that. We want it to play nicely with each other, and we want it, sort of any glazes of additional color to sit pleasantly on top, as well as the shading and the line art and all that jazz. Or maybe, actually, I could probably mess with these foregroundy rocks a little bit, and I think that should probably be safe. Oh, my moderator / spouse is home. I'll be back in just a second, chat. I'm gonna go say hi to him. Hello to you. Hey, darling. Are you okay? Okay. Okay. Unbox and then show me after stream, okay? Okay, let me just give you a kiss. Marry me. Thank you, baby. My moderator / spouse bought me biscuits. I feel very loved right now. I don't know if I think I mentioned it up top. I haven't been feeling very well today. So, very, 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 very appreciative of biscuits. Which sounds real silly, but I don't know. I find they are rich tea biscuits, which is one of the most basic biscuits to exist, but I find them so incredibly comforting. Very much a comfort food for me is the rich tea biscuit, and so I am incredibly appreciative to have them. Now, how the nuts am I going to make rock textures in this piece? I honestly, I don't know. Am I good at things like rock textures? I'm honestly, no. Like, not at all. In fact, I'm probably pretty terrible at rock textures, but here we are. I think I wanted to actually kind of delineate out some of these rock formations a bit more than I ended up doing here. So maybe if I just go like this. And this bit is now a different rock that is in front of that rock. And I should have used the bigger brush for this. It's too late to switch to the bigger brush probably, but how about I do it anyways? Yay! Get a reasonable amount of paint on there and just glaze. Okay. Can you say whoops? I knew you could, thank you. Anyways. Never mind, it's fine. It's all fine. Indigo says, I think I bit off more than I can chew with this idea. Oh, Beans, what happened? What did you do? What did you do? Oh no. Oh no. Oh, pretzels. I'm sure whatever it is will be absolutely entirely fine. I believe in you. But also, I feel your pain. Okay. I'm gonna try. It's kind of... This area is kind of behind this area. So I'm gonna try and just very faintly paint that out. But I genuinely have no idea what I'm doing because I've never done a landscape of this kind of an area before, so it is all looking frankly super weird right now, but I think if we just trust the process, it'll be fine. But trusting the process is hard, you know? Like it really, really is. It's not an easy thing to do. And sometimes it's a little bit scary. But is it worth it? Yeah, hell yeah, it's worth it. I think, do I also want to maybe... pick up a little more brown, and I think just actually kind of want to... This piece is kind of in front of that piece. I don't know if this brush isn't wet enough, or this brush just keeps absorbing all of the water that I'm putting into it. But, feels like it doesn't really want to put down a ton of water, which is honestly weird. But okay. There. Alright. Something's happening here. I don't know if it's good, but, Indigo says, I wanted to participate in Jam's art along. Oh, very cool. And my idea for Canyon Beast was a canyon in the shape of some giant that emerged from the ground. There's so much perspective involved. Wow, that sounds really complicated, but incredibly cool. You can totally pull it off, and I believe in you. That's really, really cool, though. I hope that it all goes well. I'm always really intimidated to do stuff like art alongs. Because I'm just a little baby. And I tend to be a bit more of a do things by myself in my house kind of an artist. But I love that kind of stuff, and I love that Jam does that as sort of like a community thing. If you don't know, Twitch user James B. Barrow, who rated us earlier, does a weekly art along, and then on Wednesdays they share all their artworks, and it's really cool. I have never been able to do it because, as I say, I'm shy, and it also takes me a really long time to work on stuff a lot of the time, so I would always be late, which kind of defeats the purpose, but I think it's neat. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea. My tea is mojito tea with mint and lime. Oh my goodness. It is very breezy outside. I'm leaving the window open because I need the fresh air because it's been so sweaty and warm in here. But that was quite a gust, and honestly, I am genuinely very grateful for it. Aronaka says, I currently draw a new OC, a Magic Knight moth. Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. We love moths in this chat. We love moth men in this chat, gender neutral. And we love Magic Knights as well. That's rad as heck. Indigo says, seeing other people who are also insecure post their stuff is really nice. Hell yeah. I think to be honest, a lot of people are less confident than they look online. I always find it really surprising when someone whose artwork I really, really, really admire is like, oh, I don't think this is very good. And I'm like, you shut your mouth. This is gorgeous. And you should feel good about yourself. You know what I mean? But I also recognize that, like, you know, even the people who you look up to have imposter syndrome. And I'm not saying that as like, oh, people look up to me, because I don't think they should. I'm just a little gremlin what wants to paint. But yeah. How exactly does one rock texture? Because I don't do a lot of things that have and are rocks, because, like, gosh damn, if you look at the texture on these stupid things, they are so complicated, and the amount of, like, crags and little edges and facets and complication is just crazy. They are very confusing. Rocks are very confusing objects. Unless you manage to get a very smooth rock, very confusing objects. Especially, like, cliffs and crags and stuff like this. It's, why did I do this to myself? Why? Why did I do this? Because I want to draw this scene, that's why. But am I gonna absolutely drive myself just completely nuts trying to make it look good? Also, probably, yeah. I just take too long for art challenges, says Aronako. Yeah, that is a mood. There are a couple of, like, month-long, like, daily art posting challenges that I've done for a few years now. There's Stream Inc. That I hope to get to do again this year. I've been a host for it. I was a host for it last year, and I think maybe the year before that as well, which is a really fun one in October. And also Hollow Knight Art Month, which was in May. That was fun as well. Lunar says, Sammy, I look eye to eye with you. Also, rock is speckly. Ah! I recommend licking rocks, says Haroneko. Drink rocks, eat rocks, become a rock, marry a rock. Unfortunately, I already married a bear. But never mind. I will look up to you, says Indigo, but you have to get on a pedestal for... Yeah, also, unless you're under 5 feet tall, it is very hard to look up to me. Also, I am sitting down, so even harder. Be a rock, says Aroneko. To understand a rock, you have to be a rock. Sadly, I'm too squishy. I am but a blob of flesh. Though I am given to understand from geologists that licking rocks is in fact kind of part of the job, which, you know, hey, have fun, kids. I assume you understand the circumstances under which that may be a safety risk and take appropriate precautions. I assume anyways. I don't know. Okay. Gonna try and work on these rocks here because for some reason it feels like the easiest place to do. I don't know why. In case anyone's wondering kind of what I had in mind for this, hello, darling. for this waterfall, but not exactly, because it's still based on nothing, but I'm vaguely inspired by like a waterfall that looks kind of like, where's a decent photo? Here's a decent photo. That looks kind of like, hopefully this works, that! So you get the idea. There's trees, there's rocks. I don't know how to paint rocks. Many distractions. Hey, how's it going? Welcome on in. Hello, hello, hello. Hope you are having a beautiful day. Welcome, welcome. It's lovely to see you. Indigo says, Sammy, you rock. No, you. No, you. Also, thank you. That's very kind. Okay. Now, rock shapes. How do you make them? Okay, I don't think there's enough paint on here for it to be shading in properly, so I'm gonna have to darken this down a little bit and maybe let it actually get a little bit visible and dramatic. Oh no. I married a magic night moth, says Aroneko, and licked the wings, and now I can draw the moth. But Moth got divorced after that. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But also, I hope that you had a nice relationship. Sometimes relationships simply run their course, and that's okay. That's just normal, I think. I don't know. Ugh, trying to figure out rock shapes is a real pain in the backside. But I guess I can kind of just decide for myself what kind of weird facets and shapes and shadows these rocks have, and just kind of add bits in, and eventually hope it will look good. I am just kind of at the eventually hope it will look good stage of painting. Just a lot of fluff around and find out. It's saying you boulder higher praise than you rock, says Indigo. I guess so? I guess so. Many distractions says same as stone shapes. Yep, stone shapes, rock shapes. Ah! And honestly, looking at like reference photos of you know, sort of these types of landscapes is weirdly unhelpful. Because I'm not directly replicating a specific set of rocks. I'm kind of just pulling this out of my imagination, hoping that it will look okay. I like rocks, rock. But sometimes they're a real big old pain in the backside. Well, this is certainly doing something. Is it something good? I don't know, but it's definitely something. I'll probably end up doing a little bit of very faint line weight on this stuff in the background anyways, but really faint. Sledge has shared a YouTube link in chat. Should I be concerned? For later, he says. Okay, do you want to put it in the Discord then, darling? Because I think if I try and load it while I'm streaming, it might break the computer. There's a link to the Discord, by the way, for anyone who is not in it. You can join if you want to. We are a quiet place, but we have fun there. If you do artworks, you can share your artworks with us. If you do, if you like bake stuff or cook stuff or eat stuff and you want to share food pictures, pet pictures, if you stream and you want to let us know when you're live, if you want to find out when I'm live, all that stuff in the Discord. And more. I don't know what the and more is, but and more. Anyways. Okay. Gonna keep on keeping on, trying to portray some rocks here. And just having such an interesting time with it. Okay. I hope that in some way these shapes will end up making sense. I don't know, is rocks. It's just rocks. Posted in Discord just saying Zelda haunts. Ooh, haunts! Nice. I look forward to looking at it. Thank you, sweetheart. Once again, Twitch user Sledge Callier is our moderator and my spouse. In case anyone was not familiar with the lovely gentleman. Okay. Okay. I put some shadows on those rocks. I hope they look okay. I genuinely don't know. Oh yeah, I saw the haunts, says Indigo. I look forward to seeing the haunts. I'm sure it will be delightful. Okay. More shadow color. Hurrah. Do I know of whence I am doing? I don't. I really don't. I'm having an interesting time here. What do I want to do with this rock? Okay, if I kind of... More paint. I need some more paints. I can't, at this point I can't tell if I'm making it better or making it worse. I'm probably making it worse in the short term, but it will look better in the long term. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope that makes sense. I think it makes sense. Anyways. My moderator slash spouse cleared to start, but I don't know if it's because he wanted my attention or because he was just coughing. What's up, love?
Just saying that link was just a new trailer for the new Zelda. Zelda's actually Zeldering.
It is the new trailer for the Zelda is actually Zelda-ing video game, which I am excited for. I hope it's going to be good. I really hope it's going to be good. I haven't played much in the way of Zelda game. I did enjoy Link's Awakening on the Switch, which I streamed a couple years ago. But that being said, streaming Link's Awakening on the Switch a couple years ago did kind of also entail me having my moderator slash spouse on his computer on the other side of the room and potentially being available to give me directions when I ended up in a situation where I was going round in circles in a dungeon and couldn't find my way out, and because it isn't the 90s anymore, I'm not able to just call the number on the back of Nintendo Magazine and get someone to walk me through it. But I also don't want to sit there looking up a walkthrough while I'm streaming, damn it. I'm also just not very intelligent. Still disappointed it's not called Legend of Link, says Samantha. I mean, you got me there. You are right. You're not wrong. But, yeah. So, looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a good, fun time, I hope. Legend of Link, Zelda's Awakening, says Many Distractions. There you go. It was right there. It was right there for them the whole time. Nice and easy. Why not just do that? I don't know. Anyways. I think what I'm also gonna do is do a little bit of... Should I? There are potentially little bits here where you can kind of see a little bit of rock under the water there, but I feel like I've kind of covered that. I don't want to mess with the water too much just because I think it's real freaking pretty. So I kind of want to just leave it at that. But as for the rocks... should I maybe paint in the foliage colors? Should I paint in the foliage colors and then worry about the rocks? I wonder if I maybe should do some of that. Anyways, they really should do a Pokemon Red versus Blue situation with the Zelda game, says Samantha. I love it. She goes on to say, both tell the same story, but one where you play through Link's adventure and the other is Zelda. Ooh! I think that would be really super fun, and I love that idea. I think that would be rad. Okay. This is yellow. And I'm going to use yellow as kind of our starting point for our treeness. Treeness? That sounds wrong. But the yellow is very, very green. And so I think it will work well as a tree color. And I think for the most part to kind of get, because these trees are reasonably far away, you're not going to be able to see really like every little leaf in full high definition, or at least I don't think you should. We're going to go for a somewhat more shallow depth of field than that. And to that end I can probably, or should I do backwards to frontwards, I wonder. Should I do backwards to frontwards for the, like, do the foliage that's at the back and then do the sort of more bright foregroundy foliage afterwards? I think I maybe should do it that way. Maximum treeness, says many distractions. Yes, exactly, you get it. I think that's maybe what I'm going to do. And I am kind of looking at some imagery to try and get a feel for how to make the treeness, how to make the tree colors. This is the green I have as part of the palette, but I'll be honest with you, looking at this green is this is the most saturated color on the palette. This is so stupidly saturated. It will be like neon green if I use this, which is why I'm kind of thinking, can I mix a bit of this with a little bit of you and a little bit of that to kind of make the greens, the various greens that I need. And I think that's what I'm going to need to do. Because I think anything otherwise is just going to be too sort of, you know. So I'm going to try fairly light sort of backdrop-y wash at this point and hope that works. Hopefully it doesn't completely kill all of the foliage lines that I made. Yeah, it does a little bit. That's okay.
Attention.
Twitch user
Scrappy,
Sammy Couch.
hello.
Choppers.
Hello. Welcome on in, Raiders. Hi. Hoi. Hello. How are you doing, Scrappy? How was your stream? Let me just stop doing this mess for a second and properly greet my Raiders. Hello, Scrappy. Hello, Kiona. Hello, Ratza. Hello, Scrappy. How y'all doing? It is lovely to see you and welcome in. If you're not familiar with Scrappy, go give him a follow. Go do that. She's right there. Scrappy, a fellow moth person, and we love that. It was good. We power washed again. Hell yeah! Hope you had a lovely time in the power wash simulator. Hope you are having a wonderful Monday. It is very, very good to see you indeed. And hello, everyone who has come in on the raid. I'm just gonna briefly continue futzing with this absolute mess of a painting, frankly. In the hopes that I can kind of whip it into some manner of shape as we move forward. But yeah, for anyone who's just come in, hello, welcome in. My name is Twitch user Sammy Couch. I'm a variety streamer. I do cozy game streams on Mondays and Thursdays, and I do cozy art streams. No, I do cozy art streams on Mondays and Thursdays. I do cozy game streams on Fridays and sometimes on Sundays. And oftentimes I forget of whence I speak because I am a real ding-dong. But hello. We're working on this little landscape today. So far it looks pretty ropey, but that's because it's only in the early bird stages and it'll hopefully get less horrific as we go. Got a rating round, but hope you enjoy stream. Thank you so much, Scrappy. And let me get another shout out for Scrappy in the chat. Again, if you're not familiar with Scrappy Jane is a wonderful streamer, a cool person, and also a very, very, very good artist in her own right as well. For anyone who's just come in with a raid and is curious as to what my artwork looks like when it's not an absolute pile of work in progress, can't confirm. It looks a little bit more like, I like this old chestnut, so it looks a little bit more like this old chestnut. Ta-da! This is a little cityscape I painted a while back, very seasonally appropriate. As you can see, they're walking through the snow, just like the weather is here right now. Well, I suppose it's seasonally appropriate if you're in, like, Melbourne, where I'm given to understand it's kind of cold at the moment. And I am so jealous. I am so jealous. I had a little conversation with an Australian friend recently who posted a picture wearing a winter coat and a cute little hat and being like, "Oh, little boy, it's cold in Melbourne today." And I was like, "It's 29 degrees in Oxford today. Do you want to trade?" And she was like, "Yes, please." I need to arrive at a point in my life where it is just cost effective for me to live in whatever hemisphere is having like autumn and winter. Ratsa says I need to lurk, but I'm here. Thank you so much for the lurk, Ratsa. Much appreciated. Hope you have a lovely, lovely lurk. Indigo says your parents certainly were onto something when they named you Twitch user Sammy Kelch. Very nominative determinism of them. Can you believe? Anywho. And that is definitely my legal name. Now, I know that Scrappy has raid and run. I know that she had to dash off to do whatever important post-stream business she's getting up to, but can I just shout out this this lovely moth-related artwork that she posted recently on her Instagram, because it is so stinking cute. Get a load of those absolutely beautiful flowers, the sunflowers, the hydrangeas, it's that lavender. All of my favorites. It's so good. It's so pretty. Anyways, yes, if you're not familiar with Scrappy and Scrappy's moth art and beautiful traditional pointillist works as well, you should definitely go investigate that, because it is good stuff. Scrappy is lovely. Anyways, and thank you again, Scrappy, for the raid. The foresight they had, Twitch hadn't even been invented yet. Indeed, indeed. But here we are. So, I mean, you know, good job. Good job, Mr. and Mrs. Mom and Dad Kelch. And indeed, I think my continued existence is a testament to they did a pretty good job in making sure that I, you know, stayed alive for the duration of my youth, which I very appreciate, because it's wonderful to be here. Anyways, okay, so that's a layer of greenery. It kind of ate a lot of the lines that I put down previously, but that's okay. We'll cope. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more of this yellow. But just for funsies, I'm gonna add a little bit of this cobalt blue, which is it's not the strongest, most saturated of colors, but it is heckin' gorgeous. So I like to use it. Anyways, and then we just add in some more glaze of tree to a little bit closer. So it's a slightly brighter green. Is this looking bad? I don't know. It's looking quite nice and transparent, which is good. Certainly. I should probably be doing this more... I feel like I should be doing this... I was going to say quicklier, but quicklier isn't a word. I feel like I should be doing this a little bit much more quickly than I am. Just to try and really get these colors... These sort of initial washes of color down and in place, and then we can kind of work out the rest of it from there, because this is going to involve a bit of weird layering and stuff and things, I think. And hopefully we'll manage to arrive at something that isn't horrendously unpretty and bad is my general aim. Is if we can arrive at something that isn't horrendously unpretty and bad, I feel like we will have done an okay job. Yay. Little bit more blue. But just a smidgen. Because that yellow is quite yellow, actually. But also can we dull it down a smidge? Okay. Alright, okay. Trying to establish here a little bit more in the way of sort of tree-esque texture. Trying to make sure that my oh, I'm so sorry for the shaky cam. Is everyone okay? Oh my goodness. Are y'all alright? I hope y'all are alright. Going over these dry bits, I feel like it's easier to kind of get some tree-esque texture as we move sort of a little bit further forwards. where like we're seeing a little bit of the rocks in and among the trees. Like that I think looks this I'm gonna have to sort of do an additional layer on top of when I am able to do so. I don't want too much wet paint on my brush, otherwise it's just gonna kind of spread out too much. Because I do want a little bit of textural variation in these segments specifically. And I'll go over at the bits at the back with some more sort of muted tree stuff as well. I think it's starting to feel, I think it looks bad. But this is the artistic process, and we just have to continue with the knowledge that it will be less bad the more of it that we do. And that's how art bees. That's how do the art works. I don't think you can really hear the sound that the paintbrush is making going against the paper, but let me just say, it sounds so good. It sounds so good. I love the little sound that the paintbrush makes. I find it very, very satisfying. And I'm very okay with some of this background stuff being really quite abstract. Because it should be. It's not what's in focus right now. I want this bit to dry so I can start dooting in some more of the like foregroundy foliage on top of the backgroundy stuff that we've drawn in. But can we get an ASM art stream? Is that one where I just don't talk for the entire time? Because I don't know how, it's gonna be tough for me to restrain myself from talking with chat, but I guess I could try. If people would prefer that, would you prefer if I just shut up and maybe just occasionally typed in chat? Because like I could do that if that's what people want. Anyways. There is a patch here that's really, really wet, and I want it to dry so I can kind of paint in these the bits on these trees up here. There is ASMR with talking, says Indigo. Yeah, but here's the okay. I know that like there's the ASMR that's like the people doing whispers and stuff, and I'm not gonna do an example of it because I hate whispering. I think it's because of the years that I spent working in a library. And also the years I spent before that being bullied, such that so I worked in a public library for like 12 years, and I think a lot of people didn't realize that in general, if you're in a public library, you are allowed to speak in like indoor voice. Just use your indoor voice, and generally, like if you need to take a call or something to, you know, maybe do it and like go outside or something like that. But like if you're just like talking to a person who works there or working on something with somebody, you are allowed to speak. But I would sometimes hear, if I was out and about among like the bookshelves, I would sometimes hear like whispers coming from you know, like a work table or something nearby. And because it's whispering, I can't, from that far away, I can't hear what they're saying, but I can hear that like there's human speech happening over there. So my ears have like perked up, and I'm like, I need to pay attention to this. I need to listen harder to hear what's being spoken of, even though I don't, because, you know, it's probably just some people like talking about a book or working on a project or something. But then I'll like come around the corner to the area where the work tables are, and they'll all stop talking, look at me, and then giggle. And I'm like, Because now it feels like they were making fun of me, even though they hadn't seen me, didn't know I existed, and don't care because I'm just a random person who works there. But that's not how it feels. It's the worst. No, I hate ASMR, says Aerodeko. I find it really just... It is not for me. I know a lot of people find it really, like, soothing and stuff, but I find it the opposite. I find it like, it just gets in there and nip. Tis not for me. And that's okay. I'm quite liking this texture effect with the foliage. I think it's working okay. I like that you can see kind of layers of stuff sort of behind and around it as well. I think that feels good. Yeah, I think that feels good. Do I want to do a little bit more over here? I think I maybe do. But I think I want to look at doing some of the more backgroundy stuff, which is going to want, I think, a smaller brush and a bit more of a grayer green. So if I kind of mix up that, ooh, yeah, that's a super dirty green. Okay, fantastic. Oh, we've got a terrible drawing time. Never mind. Okay, let's do that, and then I'll finish off the tree textures, and that'll probably be it for today. Cool. Okay, it's still not very good, but hopefully by the end of next stream, it'll be good enough. I've got a terrible drawing time request from Kobe who wants here's the TDT I promised. I want to see you do my favorite Pokemon, Golett, or its evolution, Golurk. Okay. Okay, this is some interesting, written instructions, in as much as I have ideas for both of these, but I should explain what we're doing. Terrible drawing time is this thing that we do, where for 5,000 channel points I've got 5 minutes or less to draw a character or concept you're choosing from memory or sight unseen on the terrible drawing canvas, which is getting pretty full, but I will try. I've been asked to draw like a number of Pokemons now. As you can tell, we've got a number of different Pokemons here. Let's see if I can remember the names of them. This is Breloom. This is Relicanth. This is Ampharos, obviously. This is Mawile. And this is Duskull. And what the hell was this? This was Lugia, I think? Or Luigia, I suppose, because I gave him dungarees and a mustache. Golett or Golurk. Because I have an idea for Golurk. Which you can probably guess. But, let's see if what I come up with is any good at all. First of all, I've got 5 minutes on the clock starting now. Okay. So, how do Golurk. So from the names Golett and Golurk, I was like, is it like a golem, like a little clay creature? Because that's the first thing that I thought of. But then also it's lurking. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna start by drawing a little. This is just a little shrub. This is absolutely just a little shrub. It's very normal. This little shrub happens to have flowers. There is nothing unusual at all about this is just some normal plant life. This is just a little bush, okay? Don't even worry about it. Pay absolutely no attention to the obvious mud creature lurking in the bushes. And now I'm going to draw in but the thing is, this is a Pokemon. So, while it does look like it's a little, like, mud creature lurking in the bushes, this is, in fact, like, the bushes are part of its body. Because that's how Pokemons work. So, but it's like, I think it's kind of like a creature that has a shell. Like, if it feels really threatened, it can just sort of, like, the mud portions of it can kind of just hide in the bushes. So I think this is, what Pokemon type would, like, a mud creature? Because I want to say, I mean, obviously the bushes would be grass type, but also it's made of mud. So would that be rock type? Not sure. So it's either a rock type or a grass type. I'm kind of on the fence about that. Ground type. Oh, thank you. Yes, ground type. Okay, so this is a ground type Pokemon. And its special skills include hide, camouflage, I don't know, something like that. It camouflages itself as just an ordinary bush when threatened, and hopes that you will think it's just an ordinary bush and just leave. That's its special skill. So this is Go Lurk. And this didn't take me very long, and I'm sorry about that, but also I think it's perfect, so I hope you like it. I hope it's okay, and I hope you're happy. Because I love this little guy. Anyways, I'm gonna look up both of these creatures, and we're gonna take a look. I'm gonna look up Golett. Oh no, it's so cute! Oh my goodness, it is absolutely hecking adorable. Okay, so that's Golett, and I'm also gonna look up Golurk, which is what I drew, because it's the one that sounded like something I felt like I could go off of and actually have a drawing for you. So let me pull up both of these. Okay, so Kobe says, I love him so much. Oh, thank you. I tried my best. Okay, so this focus, please. Thank you, camera. This is Golurk. And let me just... Okay, so we're gonna look at Golett first, which is the pre-evolution of Golurk here. Who looks like this, and they are adorable, and I love them. They are so hecking cute. I've never seen these before, but I love this family of characters, and here is Golurk. Now, I gotta say, somebody of that size, it's gonna be a lot harder to effectively lurk in the bushes. You're gonna have some pretty big bushes to lurk, but I believe in them. This is so friend-shaped. This is a Pokemon where if I encountered it in the wild, I would absolutely offer it a snack and want to give it a hug. Fun fact, Golurk can fly, says Indigo. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so cool. I love them. That's adorable. Oh, bless. Ghost Rock Pokemon, says Kiona. Ah, Ghost Rock type. I see. Mine is Grass Ground. This is Grass Ground Golurk. They are trying their best. Do you yourself a favor and Google Golurk flying, says Kobe? I will do that after stream. That sounds absolutely stinking adorable. my goodness. Bless. Welcome back, Araneko. Hello, 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 hello. I always forget Go Lurk can fly, says Art Rex. Oh my god, that sounds absolutely hecking wild, genuinely. Very, very cute. Okay. I have some very, very shadowy tree doots to... Now these trees are pretty far in the background, so they are gonna... The foliage is very small, but in places will probably kind of blend together a little bit, and that's alright too. Where it's a little bit more concentrated. This is the only way I can think to do this foliage, is just to literally just make little leafy doots. I love a good leafy doot, though. Don't you just love a good leafy doot? I love a leafy doot. And hope that it looks okay when it's all said and done. Like so. Putting a couple little doots out in front of the waterfall stream. Hopefully that'll look cute. I don't know. And continue dooting. It is my duty to doot. I have a duty to doot. Doot, 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 doot. Sorting my ooh, Copic markers, nice. That's I will oftentimes look at the markers in like art supply store and be like, oh, these look fun and cute and fun to work with, and then I see how much it costs to get like a single color, and I'm like, I'll stick with my paint. Basically turns into a rocket, says Indigo. Oh no, that's so cute. I love it. I love them so much already. With my whole heart, I love them. Bless. That's really cute. I love it. Okay. Alright. Lots of little leafy doots filling in the landscape. Getting kind of between, around, and behind these other ones. So that the landscape feels like it, I don't know. So it feels true, I guess. I have no idea whether or not it'll feel true, but I'm hopeful it won't feel stupid. That's the most important thing. Please don't feel stupid. Dear landscape, please do not feel stupid. Sometimes I feel stupid. I feel like that's just being a person. Sometimes you just do. If you never feel stupid, I love that for you. Cannot relate. I feel stupid all the time. I feel stupid when I'm painting. I feel stupid when I'm speaking in public. I feel stupid when I'm trying to make friends and influence people. I have to do social later this week, and I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. How does one social? I don't know. How do I was talking about having to, I'm like, I'm gonna bring people gifts in the hopes that I will endear myself and they will want to be my friend. Is that how you make friends as an adult? I don't know. I used to, when I was in my 20s, it would be like, here, I made you this mix CD of songs that I think are cool, that I think you might think are cool. That was my friend making strategy back in the day, because, I tell you what, if somebody made me a mixtape or a mix CD, I was like, oh, we are buddies now. Like, this is awesome. Thank you so much. How had I not heard of, Coco Rosie or whoever was popular in the early 2000s? But I don't know if that translates to how other people feel about being made friends of, if you're just like, here, I painted you this delicious watercolor. Please be my bestie. I don't know if it works that way. I feel like it should, but, I just don't know. I have not cracked the code. I think probably the answer is if you want to make friends, you can't really... It kind of just has to serendipitously happen, and you can't really... If you try to be too deliberate about it, it's probably not going to work out. which is really frustrating to me. I'm like, no, there has to be a secret technique. I have to be able to just know how to do it. What do you mean I can't just know how to do it? Struggles. I despair. I despair at that. No. Okay. How do I feel about the state of the doots up in here? I'm going to put some additional soft doots on top of the other doots so it's not quite... so the doots aren't too dramatical. I want to make sure we've got different levels of doot. Okay. Alright. This painting, is it good? Is it ugly? Well, it's none of those things yet because it's unfinished. That's the answer. Kiona says, Sammy makes friends like Corvids. Just give shiny things. Is that not how it works? I don't know anymore. They're fun but really expensive, says Araneko. Yeah, that's the impression that I got. But they have an app to scan them in and also mark them if you need a refill. Oh, that's really cool. That's really, really cool. But yes, give shiny things. Please be friend now. Is this how friend work? I don't know. Anyways. Araneko says, I locked them in my basement as a strategy, but they all hated it. Oh no. I even gave them good German sourdough bread and fresh water. Who would be upset about receiving good German sourdough bread? That is delicious. That is delicious, and they should be very grateful. Anyways, and on that note, it's time to end. So I hope you enjoyed this painting stream that was a little bit chaotic. But we had fun here, I hope. I had fun. Special thanks to Holly, to Jam, and to Scrappy for the raids. You're lovely people, and do go give them all a follow or check them out or do whatever. If you feel so inclined, I shall find someone for us to go raid now. And I will be back on Thursday, maybe finishing this? This seems to be going quite quickly as far as paintings go, which is kind of wild. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to see who else is online that we can do a little raid on. Who's someone we haven't said hello to in a little while? I don't know. Let me take a look and see who we haven't said hello to in a little while. Anyways, yeah, I'll be finishing this up later this week. I hope you have a lovely week coming up. I hope you have a good time. I hope things are going nicely and all that jazz. And I cannot remember anyone we raided recently because my brain is very, very broken. So, to that end, you know what? Actually, yeah. Our Pokedex grows, says Indigo. It does! It's getting big! I'm gonna have to start a new thingy soon. But I'm gonna send you in the direction of the lovely koala, because he's fun. And he's probably doing something fun. Probably doing some art. Doesn't look like he's about to finish either. Oh, I know what this is.
Be my honorary drug user.
Oh, this is very exciting.
Oh,
no,
that's
it's...
what I'm here for.
Oh, it wasn't muted. Sorry. Anyways, I know what that is, and it's very exciting. Okay, so I'm gonna pop a generic raid message in the chat, and we are going to append some emotes to that. What shall it be today? How about Anana? Anana is just popping in to say hi. Here we go. If you have the emotes, feel free to grab the message with the emote. If you don't have the emotes, you can just say generic raid message, or feel free to append any emotes that you do have. Let's actually start the raid. I shall be back on Thursday, and I hope you have a lovely, lovely week in the meantime. Koala's a really cool dude, very, very fun. You'll have fun there. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. I'm off to make some soup and eat some soup and relax and try not to feel too stressed about things that I've got coming up later in the week. You're all breathtaking. Thank you for hanging out. Hope to see you again soon. And goodbye, everyone. And that's not the thanks for watching screen. Goodbye, everyone. Oh, I'm so tired.